Hey guys, Colby with Muffler Tech, and today we're going to be talking about all the rumors and myths that are associated with the new rule that's coming out on all new diesel motorhome sales and ownership of any year diesel motorhome in the state of California and 5 other states. All right, the number one. This is the one I hear more than anything else, and that is that all diesel RVs are going to be banned in California, Oregon, Washington, New Jersey, New York, and Massachusetts. This is not true. RVs are not being banned. Diesel RVs are not being banned in these states. Speaking to any pre-owned or used vehicles, the ban is specific to manufacturers that do not meet the clean air and or percentage of production of their vehicles being of zero emissions. Okay, so what does that mean? What do I mean by that way that all motorhomes aren't going to be banned? Let's talk about the specifics around the rules that have been put in place by the California Resource Board that surprisingly are creeping into other states. So not just California, but the other states I mentioned as well. And it looks that some other states are going to be signing up. I read Vermont and some others, but let's talk about that. So in January 1, 2025, if you're going to be selling a new diesel motorhome as a manufacturer of the chassis or vehicle manufacturer, then you have to have something else in your lineup that offsets your carbon footprint. So RVs that are going to be banned because they don't have the ability to meet these requirements are going to be manufacturers such as Freightliner and Spartan, which happen to be the largest producers of any diesel-powered motorhome RV out there. But there's other manufacturers that make chassis such as Ford and Mercedes. Ford is able and will be able to continue to sell RVs new because they're able to offset the carbon footprint that is created by these chassis with some of their other productions, such as the Ford Lightning, the F-150 Lightning. It's 100% electric EV. Mercedes has an entire lineup of EQ vehicles that are all electric vehicles that are offsetting their carbon footprint. Now, I know there's a whole nother conversation around EVs and where the electricity comes from and all that, but none of that matters. This is we're just talking about the rules around what's going to make these motorhomes banned in California and the other states mentioned. So the other thing that has seemingly kind of crept into that same rumor is that all diesel RVs are going to be banned, and that's not true. Any RV that's used and or sold before January 1, 2025 is going to be fine in the state of California and the other states mentioned. So RVs are not banned in a blanket statement. They're banned in the specific circumstances that I just mentioned. All right, number two. So I hear this one quite often as well, and that is you want to buy a new RV after January 1, 2025, just go into a different state and bring it in and register it and call it a day, and that is not going to work. Yeah, so I hear a bunch of people bringing this up, though. We'll just go to a different state and buy it and then just bring it into California or one of the other states mentioned, and we'll go ahead and just register it that way. This is not impossible, but you can't do it as a new motorhome. It has to be under the used and pre-owned type situation. The rules and the protocol that California has is that a vehicle has to have 7,500 or more miles on it in order to meet these requirements to be pre-owned and or used. So presumably you will not be able to buy the vehicle new. You're looking at a new motorhome in a different state that allows them. It won't be able to be new. What you would have to do is you would purchase it new, and then you'd have to figure out a way to pile 7,500 miles on it before you bring it into the state of California. So buying a new RV where it's legal and then trying to bring it in as a new vehicle into California, that's not going to work. All right, number three. All diesel RVs will need to get Smog 4 times a year. Yeah, so there's another rumor that's getting around that you're going to have to smog your diesel motorhome 4 times a year. This stemmed from the rule around commercial vehicles. So if you have a commercial truck that's over the gross vehicle weight rating, and it's registered for commercial use, you will have to smog it quarterly and or 4 times a year. That does not apply to any of the motorhomes, any of the RVs. So that is a rumor that fortunately is not true. Now there are some other things that come along that tend to at least I've heard kind of trickle down from the commercial side. There's another one around when you buy a commercial vehicle and you only use it a certain amount, that you can get an exemption, and that will not apply to RVs, unfortunately. So this has the smog rule and the fact that we're going to have to start emission testing these motorhomes. There isn't going to be any limited use exemption, unfortunately. And number 4, older RVs will be exempt from emissions and smog testing. Yeah, so I believe this rumor comes from the rule that applies to diesel-powered vehicles that are under the GVWR of 14,000 pounds, such as if you have a 97 or older diesel pickup, those vehicles, those trucks are exempt from being emission tested, going through a smog check in order to get your registration. Those vehicles are exempt in the state of California. That is not going to apply to motorhomes and RVs, unfortunately. The exemption has to do with being under that GVWR, and any vehicle, any truck that the state of California considers it a truck, any vehicle that weighs over that GVWR, regardless of year. You could have a 1969 RV. I don't even know if you know, put it in the comments. I actually would love to learn it, but I don't even know if you could buy a diesel motorhome that old. But if you have a diesel motorhome that is from the year of 1969, 1965, 1970, whatever, it's older, it is not exempt. All of these vehicles are going to have to go through that annual smog test in order to be able to receive your registration. And number 5, registering my RV out of state solves the problem. I think this is something that comes up not just in the RV category, but lots of people that are California residents and in very high tax states have started to explore with doing registration of their vehicles out of state. And the problem with doing this, and the reason that I believe it doesn't solve the issue, is that when people are doing that, generally they're keeping their residence, their driver's license, in California or the state in question. And specific to California, our population here is so high, and it's such a really not a state that's run to a point where we're running a deficit, but the state needs money. I believe we're going to start running into, and I know that it's already kind of existed, where law enforcement's going to start cracking down on people that have a car registered, such as like in Montana, but you have a California driver's license. I think that's risky. I think that's a bad idea. I think that can get you down the road of tax evasion, and I believe it's something that is a rumor that's getting passed around as kind of an end-all solution, and I think it's a bad way to go. Yeah, so there you have it. That's my rumors, my dispelling the rumors that are around this new RV rule and the ban or whatever we want to call it. I will be doing a video soon about what's involved in emissions testing. There's a very different process in emissions testing your diesel RV if it's a 2013 and newer versus if you have a 2012 or older. I'm going to dive into that. I've already spoken with a credentialed tester. That's what they're called, a credentialed tester around the emissions testing on these vehicles. I've personally dived into the course that the California Resource Board puts out around what's required, and so stay tuned, subscribe, take a look at the channel here. There is going to be an upcoming video that covers what it looks like to get a smog or emissions test on your RV in California, so you can receive your new registration. And just to end, I appreciate you watching. Again, my name's Colby. I'm with Muffler Tech. We're in Sacramento, California. We've been here nearly 30 years in the same location at 6160 Florin Road. And we'd love to help you with any of your exhaust or emission needs. So Thanks for watching, everybody. Have an awesome day.